Hello, Todd.
Hey, Dan, are we starting the conversation?
Yeah, this is my first time moderating, so I'm not really sure how it works, but I see you're here. Vicki here.
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Vicki. And
Hi.
Stacey and Jim, you are here?
Yes, we are.
Oh, great. Well, I'm not really sure how to get this started, but I've got a list of questions to kind of, maybe get it rolling. And I guess let's start out with Vicki. Vicki, what do you contribute to your icon success? And congratulations, by the way, to a big accomplishment.
Well, thank you, and you as well. Honestly, I think it just comes down to being authentic, being true to who you are, and for me, I think you have to be a full-time realtor to be able to do this. I couldn't imagine trying to do it part-time. So I always tell people, that's one of the first things I tell folks when they ask me. I said, anything I do with real estate, I just think you have to give it, 100+% of your time and effort.
How long did it take you to reach this level?
I did it in my second year.
Oh, good for you.
How come I can't hear anything?
You can't hear me? Todd, can you hear me okay?
We can hear you, Jim and Stacey.
We can hear you.
Oh, well, Jim and Stacey, you guys have a pretty big team, right?
Well, we've been doing a lot of recruiting. They're part of our organization. I don't know if we don't actually have team members. It's just Stacey and I working together as husband and wife on the spot. But we've been recruiting. Our first year, we frontline 24 and have 50+ agents on the team now.
That's great. That's really great. How do you delegate when you go to work? How do you point fingers to get jobs done?
Right. Well, one thing that I learned early on is that I know where my seat on the bus is. And what I'm good at, I'm good at. What I'm not, I'm not.
Right.
Anything that is organizational, systematic does not come to me. And we also utilize our team members too, or what I like to call our tribe level. We prefer to have showing agents now, and we're using it as a training tool too. So any lead generation that we're doing that's not a repeat or referral client, we're actually handing out to our downline, and we're working with them and using hands-on training as a training tool. It's a win-win situation.
I think one of the best things you have to do is you got to calculate what is your value, what is it, what is an income producing activity, and anything that you can pay someone else to do for less than what you're earning an hour. For example, if you're making $100,000 a year, that's $50 an hour, right, in pay. So if you can hire somebody for $15 an hour to do something, that frees you up to make income producing activities. So you just got to do an analysis on whether or not it's worth your time doing it.
Right. So have you guys been icon agents in the past, or is this your first year?
This is our first year with eXp, but we've gone back and analyzed our entire real estate career. And Stacey started in 97. Mm-hmm. She started when she was 9, everyone. If you were wondering.
Can anyone hear me?
Yes.
And go ahead.
Go ahead and finish your thought there.
Oh, okay. So I was going to say, we've gone back and analyzed it. We would have been icon agents every single year. The person that helped introduce us to eXp asked us, how much have you been paying your broker? And they said, take a look at this. You could do the icon agent program. You could effectively operate it better than 100% split.
Right. That's the great thing about it. Todd, you can hear me now, right? Todd, are you there? Well, let's go back to Vicki. Vicki, what's your number one priority every single day when you wake up and you get going? What's your number one goal? Hello. Vicki, can you hear me?
It looks like she's talking.
No, I'm having sound issues.
We can hear you, Dan.
Oh, great. Well, I'll let you guys ramble on then, because I'm not sure if I can hear you all the time. I was asking Vicky what her #1 goal is when she wakes up every day and heads off to the office. Does she have a plan every day, or is it different, or does she have one thing she wants to accomplish?
Maybe you should open it up to the floor.
Jim, yeah, we're here for
Yeah.
you. That's-
Yeah, go for it.
So the number one priority, I think the number one priority for every agent every single day needs to be connecting with your warm network. The best source of leads you can get are from people that know you. So we make it a priority to connect with our network, and we do a lot of it through social media. And, you know, to connect with social media, one of the hardest parts is getting that darn Facebook algorithm to get you in front of more than just like the normal 30 or 40 people that see your posts. So one thing we're making a habit out of now is reaching out to people on their birthdays. Now, the problem is if you just post happy birthday on their news feed, that gets lost in the 100 or 200 others. But what we're doing now is we're actually reaching out on Facebook Messenger and wishing them an audio happy birthday. And for really special clients, I even bust out my Marilyn Monroe version of it and sing to them. And it gets interaction back and forth between them, which
I think you ought to do
literally,
that for everybody right now.
Right.
you know, I should, but it's only special people that get the Marilyn Monroe busted out. But, you know, the really special ones I might even put on the heels and the dress. But what it does is it puts you back on the algorithm in with them so that it reconnects you with them. At minimum once a year, you're turning those several hundred or 1,000 people you have. So it's a great way to connect with your network and stay in front of them.
Cool.
And too, Dan, I just want to add to that. Make sure, I mean, obviously we're talking about our real estate business, but you also have to do a little bit of head clearing yourself. Take time. Like that's one thing is if you can't do a checkup from the neck up every day and get your day started right with yourself, you're not going to be much help to your client.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
How much time do you spend in lead generation weekly?
Lead generation, I think the mistake a lot of agents make is that they say, I'm going to do 1 hour of lead generation a day or something like that. I think you have to keep generating leads until you have more leads than you can handle. In other words, if you need to put 12 hours in, you know, if you have no business going on, then your entire day, 18 hours that day needs to be in lead generation until you have it. There isn't a set number. It's until you have more leads than you can handle. That's my answer.
Yeah.
And then too, I think you're always in lead generation mode. Like if you think about it, well, there's the obvious forms of lead generation, our KV core and stuff like that. But literally your best sphere of lead generation is your sphere, your friends, your family. So social media, you always have to make sure you're reminding people that you're a real estate agent. And that sounds funny, but how many times have you been like at a family reunion or something, or one of your best friends, and literally the words like, "Oh, I forgot you were a realtor."
Ugh.
I mean, it is so. Lead generation can be in the form of just posting simple stuff or I mean, it's every day, all the time. Lead generation is not just tools that you sit down at a computer during a time frame to do it.
Cool.
Somebody's got their dog barking in the back of you, sounds like. Not us.
Not me.
All right.
So are you guys doing anything differently this year than you did last year to improve your numbers?
Anybody else out there wants to talk? We'll keep talking if you want us to, but
I don't know if Todd and Vicky can hear me or not.
we got you. So one thing that we're going to do different this year, after going to the eXp convention, I realized how grossly underutilizing we were with KV Core. It is such. We're going to absolutely ramp up our use of KV Core and really dedicate ourselves to learning how to what they call feed the beast. Right? How to send the KV Core and then let it use the artificial intelligence it has in place to, to business coming in. What do you think, Stace?
Yeah, I do think that's a goal for us being new to eXp. You know, we just hit our 1 year mark. It really has opened our eyes. You can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah.
We're really going that's our falling forward. We need to do better, and we're going to totally utilize KV Core more this year for sure.
Were you always using KV Core? Because I'm using Sync still, and I'm trying to get ready to switch it all over to KV Core, which is going to be a chore. But have you used something else in the past?
Yeah, no, we had never used KV Core before.
We've never used an organized lead generation system. Isn't that scary?
Well, we used success websites. Actually, Craig Proctor, if you remember him, out of
I
Canada.
sure do. I got all this stuff.
Yeah, we used success websites for a long time, and then we did a lot of direct response marketing. But
Okay.
this KV Core is incredible. In fact, we met an agent the other day when we were in Las Vegas that literally switched to eXp just for the KV Core. He said it's going to save him $6,000 a year because that's how much he was spending at his other broker to have KV Core, and he loved it so much he switched to us just for that.
Well, I'm excited to get into it. I just haven't done it yet because I've been busy, with my sphere of influence.
Yeah, exactly.
What about education? Do you guys invest in yourself with extra education and coaching, or are you too busy?
Tons. I got to tell you one thing about being married and working together is, we have a life coach that helps us coach us through how do you balance life and work together when you both work in the same career field. But we also have online mentors. I watch Gary Vaynerchuk for internet marketing. I like Tony Robbins for checking out your what do you say, Stacey?
Zig Ziglar.
Oh,
Check up from the neck up.
Check up from the neck up.
Right next to you, round to it.
Yeah. And so a lot of your mentoring and things like that can be done by just online people that help you out.
And one thing that we're utilizing too with eXp is when we tell our new agents or even recruits that we're talking to in our local market, you only have a natural ceiling where by yourself you plateau and hit that ceiling. We've never had, we do about 15 million a year. And we couldn't get past that. And in our local marketplace, no one was willing to open the books. $100 million producer was not sitting down with us to show us how to do it. So we've been utilizing learning from someone better than us, always playing up. So the coaching that's in the world, we've been taking advantage of that too.
Yeah, it's amazing learning from different marketplaces too, because a lot of times when you just get coaching from within your marketplace, it's kind of an incestuous type relationship where everybody's just kind of copying each other. But when you learn from outside your marketplace, there's really great strategies and things you can bring to the table. I love the world. We were taking notes the other day, learning from somebody after being 20 years in the business. We're learning new stuff about open houses of all things.
Hey guys, I'm sorry to interrupt, but it looks like Todd Schroff is the one who has the dog barking or something in the background. It's extremely distracting.
I'm in a closed door office. I don't have a dog in here. My dog's at the groomers.
It might just be, maybe it's just your microphone's feeding back or something, but every time I hear the noise, your name pops up.
Okay, weird.
So maybe if you're not talking, if you could just mute your mic, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Well, Todd, do you have any issues that you think limit your success since you can hear us now? You want to chime in?
Yeah, sorry, I was having a computer issue, so I had to switch computers. No, we just came over from Remax back in December, and 20 years there, and like you guys are saying, the collaboration with everybody opening their books to us of how they do their business in this company is just amazing. It's really helped us build our team. We've added 3 new agents to our direct team because I run a team of 8 people, not a downline system, but just the team system, and it's helped us grow them and give them more tools and access to things. With the eXp model, KV Core, we're just starting to dive into as well. We've actually got a conference call with them on Monday to get the team platform set up because I want to really dive into it and see what it can do for us.
Yeah, I'm excited to use that too because Sync is okay, but I don't think it really connects with the AI, and you have to do more follow-up. It's not as specific as I think what KV Core can do, so I'm jacked about that for sure.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it because you can open the computer up and see, hey, it's there, but what's in the background, and that's what we're trying to learn. And I know we're crushing it with KV Core, where right now I'm spending close to $2,000 a month on a system that isn't doing anything for us. So I'd rather put that money into KV Core advertising.
Yeah, we were with Tiger for a long time before we decided to go with eXp, our little boutique. And so I had to build it, but 1,800, 2,000 leads in there that I didn't want to throw away. And when Sync bought Tiger, I just, okay, I'll just stick with it. But now with KV Core on board, I'm like, I'm going with something better. So I'm working on that. That's my next week's job.
Yeah, that's Monday for us. We've got conference calls all day about it. That's basically we're diving.
Hey, Vicki, you were talking about a full-time agent earlier, and did you start out part-time and try to make that work?
You asking me?
I was asking Vicki if she's still there.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
I'm sorry, what
I'll
was your
ask you.
question?
You were talking about being a full-time agent earlier. That's really
Yes.
how you gotta do it. Did you start out as a part-time agent and try to make that work?
Oh, no, I did not. Mm-mm. Always full-time.
Okay. Is this your first career?
No, but I've been in the business for 4 years and came out of honestly being a full-time mom and had a small business for my home, but homeschooled my daughters all the way through to college. And
Oh, cool.
yeah, and I got into real estate because my daughter wanted to get into real estate. And then when she saw what it was, she said, I don't want to do that. So I honestly went to the school, went with her, and had interest in it from the past, from years past, just helping, buying our own homes and helping other friends transfer over to into Virginia from Georgia and different places. But yeah, I loved it. I got into it and went. I'm just that kind of person. When I make my mind up to do something, I just go in it, head on and don't look back.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think a huge portion of realtors is probably not their first profession. They
Hey,
start
Dan,
out with something.
I'd like to give some advice for newer agents and people like that. It's okay to go part-time for people that are just getting started because, quite frankly, you got to have a bankroll. The last thing you want to have in real estate is have what I call commission breath, which
Yeah.
is where, people know you need that sale. And when they know you need the sale, a lot of times there's not a lot of trust there because they're like, wow, are they operating their fiduciary duty in my best interest, or do they just need this commission check because they're desperate? So I tell newer agents, look, keep your job until you have your real estate business up and running off the ground, and work both in the beginning. It's absolutely okay to do that and then transition into a full-time. I see it happen all the time. I mean, why is it 2 out of 3 new agents won't make it their first year? It's quite frankly, it's cash flow. When you get started, it's a little slow to get started. I think that's great advice for new agents.
Well, I think that's good. That is good advice. I think the problem like we have here in our market, or what I have experienced, is agents not being available. They show your properties or they send you an offer and you get under contract with them, and then they kind of go AWOL because they are working another job. So if you're going to do it, just do it, grind it out. I mean, if you got to work another job, that's awesome. And, do what you got to do to make it work. But at some point, I think you really, if you get into this business, it would be great if you would, just be sure that, that you're available, not only to your clients, but also to the agent on the other side of the transaction. Does that make sense? I think that's what I've experienced. And that's why I get, it gets a little frustrating at times, for that reason.
I know
Yeah,
one thing this is Stacey. I know one thing that we do to try to help with that, because I totally understand, especially being on the receiving end of that, is with our newer agents. We have just feel, I should say, that we need to take and help our newer agents coming in. So our 7-level tribe has really bonded, and they work together because we do have quite a few that are transitioning and or still working 2 jobs. They literally take showings for each other, and something that we do is to try to make that family team in a local market. That's a little bit, that's true.
Experience.
Yeah.
Suzanne has a question for us. Did you all start with mentors, and how much was your mentor and influence on you? I did not. Any of you 3?
I did have a mentor. Yes.
That make a huge difference.
I think it did. Yeah. My mentor kept telling me to quit getting ahead of myself, but yeah, I just didn't wait to be told what to do. I get myself into it and then I find out the answers, that's,
yeah.
But yeah, I did have a mentor, and I would highly recommend that for someone new to the business.
For sure.
We did not have a mentor the first 10 years. We hired our first coach in 2010, which, made a big difference in growing us to where we just started a new coaching company that's taken us, even further to help us build it like a business, not just run a operation.
And one thing that's drastically changed, just like the internet has changed everything out there, when we were in the business, it was really hard to find coaching and mentoring without actually hiring someone. But there's for our newer agents out there, people that are starting to build their business that may not have a lot of cash flow rolling yet. YouTube, there are so many free avenues for mentorship and online. We'd be happy if anyone wants to reach out to us. We even still utilize them. Like Jim said, Gary Vee, Eric Worre, a lot of them are on YouTube where you can, if you put in the time, you can find resources that don't cost a lot of money to better yourself.
Well, let's just call a spade a spade. Old-fashioned real estate companies were set up hoping that the new agents would fail. In the past, the seasoned agents didn't want to help the new agents because literally you're trading your competition. That was the old-fashioned model. The best part about eXp is they flipped the model on its end. And the most experienced agents like us, we want to help the new agents win because there's a vested interest in all of us in eXp who are now all business owners. We're all shareholders. We own this company together. It's no longer a zero-sum game. A zero-sum game meaning for me to win, you have to lose. It's not like that anymore. Together, a collaborative experience, we all win. We drive the stock price up. And the long-term game for all of us builds us an incredible company with an incredible retirement. So we want every single eXp agent to win, and we'll pour everything we have into them. I can't tell you over 20 plus years, though, how many people in the old-fashioned model we trained, taught them everything we knew, and then what they do, they went out and competed against us. And I don't blame them for that. It's the way it used to be, but this model right here is so perfect for new agents.
So to wrap it up, I think everybody highly recommends, make sure, I don't think you can succeed in the business without coaching and mentoring.
Yep, and eXp provides.
I lost you.
Can I
here.
just check on what you were just saying as far as like the reason for new agents it being a successful model for new agents? This is Kristen, by the way.
Hey, Kristen, I couldn't hear that. We were getting feedback from somebody.
I was just gonna say I'm a brand new agent, and what he was saying is completely with one of the biggest reasons why I chose to go with eXp over, like, for example, KW was the simple fact that I knew going into it that I had such a big support network of seasoned agents to help me and answer any questions I may have. And I didn't think that I was going to get that with some of the other agencies. So that is the actual one and only main deciding factor for me coming into eXp.
That's great. I think some of the feedback we're getting, Todd, is if you have two computers up and running, I think it's bouncing back and forth. Maybe that's that noise we have.
I don't know. I'm in a silent room. It's
Well, I'm an audio guy, and if you got your volume too loud, it's going to feedback even through your computer unless you have some kind of gate on your computer. And every time we're hearing that sound, it's coming from you. And I'm not trying to be rude or anything, obviously.
I don't know. I'm like shutting everything down, and I'm like literally doors closed, everything's shut. So I don't know.
Well, I understand that, but if the sound coming through your computer is feeding back to anytime he talks, the little bubble above your head pops and the feedback's like going crazy.
Okay, I'll turn it all down.
Just mute your mic.
Yeah, Todd, all you have to do is in the bottom left-hand corner, turn your mic off there by clicking on that mic button, and you'll see the red hash mark pop up through it.
Yeah, I understand how to do that. We'll be on mute.
Could the icons share any of their like normal income producing activities checklists?
We don't operate off a checklist, but I can tell you this, income producing activities is talking to people. And keep in mind this, is that every person you know knows at least 5 people. This is according to NAR, National Association of Realtors. Every person you know knows 5 people that will buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the next 6 months. So you have to take a look at your network and realize, okay, they're not going to buy a house for 8 years, but they know 5 people, and that's a warm connection to you. So for example, if you know 100 people and they need each know 100 people, that's 10,000 warm connections you have. And you have to cultivate your relationships that way and just ask them in a way that says, hey, could you keep me in mind? You have to put it top of mind awareness with them. Could you keep me in mind when you run into somebody at your kid's school or at your church or at your work who's thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate in the next 6 months? And would you just introduce me? Instead of using the word referral, we like to use the word introduce because referral is so salesy. Could you introduce us? A quick 3-way text or a quick group Facebook message, and I'll take it from there. I'll be forever in your debt and be happy to do you a favor if you ever need it.
Awesome. Good question, too.
Great. Thank you so much. I like that.
Awesome.
One thing just to add on that too, one thing with our new recruits and our new mentees is don't get confused on what's an actual dollar producing activity and what is getting ready to do in dollar producing activity. Making a list, for me, the way my distinction is, I don't know about you, but sending out mass emails, even sending out a Facebook message, that doesn't have a high result for me. But when I actually talk to someone or text them where I'm actually communicating back and forth, that's the dollar producing activity. Not getting my list ready, not mass emailing and hoping someone gets that. You've got to be very careful to make sure you categorize what's an actual dollar producing activity or what's getting ready. Getting your list ready, getting your email ready, sending out your email, that to me is not dollar producing activity. The results come from face-to-face talking or text messaging and actually getting some communication going.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So as we do this, a lot of people are trying new things all the time. Can one of you guys describe an epic failure that changed the way you set your business strategy?
I'll start with that one. I tell you, one of our biggest failures was in 2008, the failure to see the impending years of appreciation. And how Stacey and I missed the fact that we were going to crash in 08, I don't know, but we lost 75% of our income from one year to the next. And it's something that we always have to have in the backs of our mind. And here's the great thing for everybody who's listening to this right now. eXp has put in safety measures in place for us for when the next dip comes in the next downturn. I don't think it's going to happen for a while because you have all the millennials who are hitting the market, and because new builds are not building enough homes to keep up, there's a housing shortage. So I think we've got a good 10-year run coming. But it could it happen? Yes, in the next 10 years. It probably won't, but it could. But you have to prepare for the future. And so we do that through our stock plan that we all have, being owners, right? And then also through our revenue share, the residual income that we can produce, the passive income that comes in, and you can diversify yourself across marketplaces. Not everywhere in the United States crashed when the crash happened in 08. We got slaughtered here in Ohio, but there were some markets that were insulated against it. And so if you can build yourself a network across many different marketplaces, you can insulate yourself against that. And so we're all going to be very grateful we're with eXp when the next downturn comes in the market.
Great answer. How do you go above and beyond for your clients? Anyone? How about Vicki?
I like how I get the hard ones, right? No, it's not a hard question.
I'm picking on you, Vicki.
No, it's fine. Well, I don't know if this is, relevant to everyone, but I try to be my community ambassador. I do that through I'm heavy on social media, and I do a show called Front Porch Fridays, and it is all about community. If I have clients that have businesses, or if they're involved in a nonprofit, I want to highlight a nonprofit. I've even had clients that were my co-host. I allow them to, that helps me, not only get to know them better and build those relationships, but it also gets me out there in the community. I'm constantly, and this is going to go back to some of the questions that I think I've heard, how do we do what we do and all this kind of stuff. But I think first of all, just being authentic to who you are. Find that platform where you can shine and you're true to who you are. I am a connector of people. I love people. I love being, and I think we all do, or we wouldn't be in this business. But, I think that comes out. I think that's how I shine and do go above and beyond for my clients. I'm always trying to connect them. I'm always trying to make sure I get the best deal for them. I am their advocate, no matter whether they own a business, whether they're, working an event or they're involved in an event. I'm going to be out there trying to shine the light on them. And in return, it shines the light on my community. It helps grow my business, and it helps connect community. And as long as, that builds strong, healthy community, which is what I think the core of real estate is. And being a realtor, it's being that center focus where people, that person that knows the information and wants to connect people and wants a strong community. Because if we have a strong community, it helps our real estate. So it just, does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody out there have any questions for our iPhone agents? Crickets.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you just fine.
How are you guys overcoming the agents that work at 100% broker and they tell us how their fees are so low, but we know the reality of eXp, but how are you guys addressing that to attract them to eXp?
One of the first things I say is, oh, I'm sorry, that's all you're earning is 100%. And I laugh and I smile at it when I say it. You can only do that when you're face to face, but you say that, I'm sorry, that's all you're earning. And they'll be like, what are you talking about? Saying, because you're looking at this just from a standpoint of a transactional job, an occupation versus building a business. And then you invite them to sit down. And if you're not versed at presenting the eXp opportunity, you want to get them either on the phone or with somebody who is, like maybe somebody who recruited you. But when I sit down with them, I say this, I say, look, what if I could show you a way to earn more than 100%, doing what you're doing, but earn more than 100%. And then you set up the appointment, and here's what we show them. The Icon Agent program, obviously, if they're a producer, they're getting their cap back in company stock, which over the long run, we can't guarantee anything, but over the long run, doesn't the stock market go up? I mean, if you look back over the last 50 years, yes, the stock market has gone up. Does it have dips and valleys? Yes, it does, but over the long term, it goes up. So you can actually build a business that you have equity in something where you own it versus simply selling houses until the day you die. Wouldn't that be great? And then if you show them how, if they just recruit six agents themselves personally that do the exact same production as them, it negates their cap completely. And if you haven't seen that, you'll need to have somebody show you a spreadsheet how that works. And I would recommend getting them in front of someone. Say, if I could show you a way to earn more than 100% on your commission, would you be interested in talking to someone? That's what I would do.
Thank you.
That's good. Hey, has everyone on this in this group heard of the or seen the Gene Frederick's napkin presentation?
Yes.
Okay. Well, if you haven't, you can find it, and if you can find it on YouTube. But that's, I always start with that too, and just ask people what their exit strategy is, because even though they're at those 100% brokerages, most of them are not going to have an exit strategy. They're just continuing to do, they're just doing the grind.
Can you put that link in the chat box or type the description of it in there?
I'll just put in Gene Frederick's napkin presentation. I'll see if I can find it before we get off this call. I'll look for it.
Thank you.
I kind of took Gene Frederick's presentation and I did it on a napkin. It's called Realtor Retirement Options on YouTube. It's getting a ton of great hits and stuff like that. You can check that out and share with them. It's good.
Gene Frederick napkin presentation.
And I did hear something someone said the other day, and this made a lot of sense. I think we show them we get on our computer and try to show them too soon, instead of building that relationship with them and trying to somebody's like, I did this, I started showing everything too soon. So I don't know if that makes sense. Some of you might understand what I'm talking about. When I heard that, I went, yes, I try to show too much too soon instead of building the relationship and just keeping it simple, And now with the healthcare, I posted about our healthcare that we're going to be offering healthcare. eXp will be this year. I've had several agents reach out to me, and I've had coffee with them, and they're considering eXp because of the healthcare. So, continue to put stuff on your feed and social media. Don't be obnoxious, but those announcements that we get, there's nothing wrong with sharing some of that. So I think that helps me.
Vicki, I think you had a great point. Something that we're starting to notice since we've been in for about a little over a year now. Just keep in mind, especially when you're attracting agents, it's not an instantaneous thing. With us, with Vicki's right, you just constantly put little feelers out there. We have people that we met with last year that are just now, they've been watching from the sidelines. One, eXp is new to our market. So they've watched for the last year to make sure it's real, make sure it's going to stay, make sure it's going to stick. And they've watched, and now they're starting to reach back out. So don't think that it has to have an immediate result by putting that little stuff out there, putting in touches that are more rapport building, not selling. Hey, how was 2019? What are you going to do for 2020? Don't make it about eXp. Don't even bring up eXp's name.
Right.
And we have a lot of people who are actually circling back to us.
Hi, this is Aina. I have a quick question for Vicki.
Yes.
I'm on the mobile phone. On the what you posted about the healthcare and things like that, how do you word that? Is it in your Facebook or your LinkedIn? How do you phrase that?
Mainly on Facebook and Instagram, but I'll just say, another great announcement from eXp or something like "Here we go again." 10 years strong and look what's happening. Just be creative. I mean, friend me on Facebook. You can follow my stuff, and you're welcome to copy anything. There's so many agents. I'll tell you, this company, I just love it. Friend as many eXp agents as you can, and there's so much good content that we can share. There's stuff in Workplace that you can download and upload it to your social media feed. So yeah, it's just I don't do a big check out some long paragraph. It's just something quick and simple. Does that answer your question?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a
Thank
question.
you, Vicki.
You're
but
welcome.
First, I want to make a comment. Like Vicki just said, follow and connect with other agents on social media and just support each other. Like I connect with my fellow eXp agents and we comment, and the collaboration, people see that collaboration and they're like, wow, these guys are doing great things. These guys are doing great things and they want to be part of it. And that's part of your agent attraction. Now my question is for the icon agents that are attracting agents, what kind of follow-up system do you use to follow up with these agents, if you use any at all?
We are using, anytime we have a lunch and learn or any classes that are out there, we're trying to invite them out to the stuff that's in-house. We've got a couple brick and mortar offices in the Orlando area, and we leverage the use of those. And we don't make it come join eXp to come to this stuff, but to keep it company centric and just bring the people in, help them build their business and give them items of value, and they will continue to thank you for that, and they'll eventually see the light and come over.
And lock arms with one of your vendors in your area, lender, or lock arms with them and ask them if they'll help put on an event for you. Like we're doing one here on November 7th, and we've got Elizabeth Riley's coming over from Austin to help teach, and we've invited, we didn't sell out, it's free, but 150 seats. It's gone. We put it up 2 weeks ago, and it's not about eXp, but it will be most eXp agents as well as other realtors that are coming in. But then we're having a happy hour after the event. One of the lenders is going to host the happy hour. If you want to stay and learn more about eXp, come hang out with us at happy hour. And build, it just goes back to adding value, bring it, just like we do with our clients. We want to give them, we want to be giving them value. And same thing with our realtor friends and associates in our markets, and even outside of our markets, find ways to do that. But that's what we do, that about 3 times a year.
If you guys are out there, if you're not using Rob Flick's wealth chart, go ahead and YouTube it and take a look at it and build one exactly like that and put it in your office and watch that and use that chart. Use it exactly the way he's telling you. It is the way to track the business and know where you're at, how many levels you're deep, how many front lines you need to get paid on the next level. Is a great way to track your system. Also using the little sticky note tabs. He called Post-it notes that he has on the side. It tells you which agents you should be hitting once a week, which agents you should be hitting once a month. And it's an incredible system to track, and it's very visual. And I know realtors, we're all like real visual type people. And he goes through the entire system for you, but check it out on YouTube. It has completely changed for us. We'll have over 40 front lines in 16 months of doing the business, but we're using that chart there.
And let me add one more thing. I think, I want to say one more thing when whoever's, I just have one more thought that I do, one more thing that I do.
Yes.
What was the name of that chart? I'm sorry, I'm on my mobile.
It's Rob Flick, ROBB Flick Wealth Chart. Just do it on YouTube. He's got a whole training video on how to use it.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, what I have done, I've also created on my social media, on Facebook, I have and I'm sure some of you heard this, they're called friend lists. And if you don't know how to do it, ask me, I'll show you how to do it. It's really easy. Make yourself a friend list and only put in there agents that you have friended on Facebook that you want to introduce this model to, or that you have already introduced it to. And every morning when you get on social media, open up that friends list, and the only feed you're going to see are from those realtors. Make a comment, of Susie and her grandchild, and like their statuses or whatever. But that's a great way to stay connected. And it's a great way to, they're going to talk back to you. It's like, walking up to somebody, giving them a handshake. Use social media. It's free. Use it. I have friends lists for my clients, current and my past, and anybody I'm working with, my icon, I have friends lists, and I open up those friends lists, and that's how I stay in connection with people, because otherwise they get lost in, social media world. But that's a great way to do it.
Anything else?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
This is Dave from Southern California. I just wondering, when you all put on lunch and learns or other events for attracting agents to come and see a presentation, what have you had more success with? A presentation that is strictly about learning about eXp straight up and in their face, or are you doing more events that are of other interest to realtors, for example, generating leads, or best practices in presenting an offer, just all kinds of generic training like that, just to get them in the door, and then I think is some type of a networking session afterwards or before.
Always items of value work better for us. Having a real estate panel, an appraisal panel, something that, teaching about contracts or that having those items of value are always more successful for us, instead of just doing, hey, come hear about eXp.
Sure.
Agents love food and they love free CE. So
That's
partner
right.
up with your affiliated partners to come. You can use a home inspector to come, and they'll get a chance to pitch their business, a win-win. Have your agents that are in your downline that are bringing guests, have them pick up part of the tab when they're coming in, and then you'll get a chance to build a relationship. And just like Vicky said, you're adding value. And then from there, they're naturally going to be interested in what eXp has to offer.
We just hosted one yesterday on Wednesday, and we did, doing the item of value. We had an accountant come in and speak, a 401k specialist come in and speak, and then we had lunch, and then broke out into an eXp conversation. And a couple of them that I've been to, they talk about marketing for the first hour or whatever the topic is, and then say, whoever wants to stick around and hear about eXp, please stay in your seats. If you're not interested in hearing about eXp, please leave, to respect the others that are here to learn something. And that works great, because the ones that don't want to hear it leave, and they're not getting up during that presentation.
Added value of a little bit of peer pressure there as well for the ones that don't leave.
Right. Anybody else have any comments or questions for the panel?
I think if you're a newer agent and you're looking to recruit some agents, that one of the best things you can do is start off, first of all, you got to make a list of agents, and then just ask them how their business is going. And then the best question you can ask, and this is taught, is what do you love about your current broker? Not what do you like, but what do you love about your current broker? And they're literally going to tell you their pain points. They're going to tell you what they love. That's what you're going to use to recruit them with. And they're also going to tell you what they don't like. And that's what you're going to use eXp solutions to those pain points that they have. And if you're newer to the business, your entire goal is just this: set up a three-way call between you, your prospect, and then somebody who's an edified leader who's good at recruiting that's in your upline that'll help recruit them for you. That's my advice on that.
Great advice.
This is Conda. I'm in the same office with Dan. Can you guys hear me?
Hello, Conda.
I have to tell you guys, this has been one of the best conversations. I've been listening to it while I'm cleaning a house that closes this afternoon because it didn't get cleaned like it was supposed to. But you guys have some absolute... The information from this panel has been incredible.
Agreed.
One thing I want to say is, Vicki, thank you. From one icon to another, I actually really picked up something that I'm going to utilize right away. That picking in Facebook and putting them in categories.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've already had a couple of people reach out to me. I'm sitting here, they're asking how to do it. Maybe I'll do a Zoom call or something, or I'll try to. It's just in the left corner side of your Facebook. When you open it up, it'll say you go all the way down and it says friends list, and it allows you to, you open it up and you could actually name your friends list, and then you just start adding people into that friends list. They don't know you're adding them, so that's not the point. It's not like a group. It's a list for you to be able to open up and only see that list of folks in your social media feed. So if that helps, but I'll try to put it together for the ones that are asking.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Yes, my pleasure.
This is Arsha in Dallas, Texas.
Go ahead, Arsha.
I have been searching for someone, perhaps a management position or a broker who is well-versed, who could actually sit down with me and go through the income, the revenue share, the sponsoring income, how it works. Because I've never really heard a really clear deliberation of the different points. Like how, like, do these people need to cap in order to get this particular fee on them? At what point do you have to cap? When do you start? All the benefits of all those different things, and when it starts, and and actually walk through that entire plan.
Well, I have a little tag on my email, on my signature line that I use. It just has a brief 7-minute why do I love eXp, and it has a little video of, and it breaks down all of the revenue share. It breaks down everything as far as the timing with the 16,000, how you get the 100% commission, and it's pretty. I mean, I think it's pretty slick. I get a lot of comments about that.
Arsa, I'd be happy to spend an hour or so with you, either on the phone or in the world, and just kind of go over the different categories, because I think you're wanting a more detailed explanation, and I'd be happy to do that if you want to either message me or give me a call or workplace message me.
And who's speaking now?
Conda Davidson.
Conda Davidson. Okay, and just contact you, Conda?
Yeah, that would be fine. Just contact me and we'll block out an hour sometime that we can just go through the different, income streams and how they work.
I would love that. Thank you.
I'd be happy to be a part of that group.
Okay, and who is that?
I would like to be part of that. I would like
LaDonna Logan from Chicago.
Okay.
Me too.
Maybe I'll see about starting a workplace group that would, I don't know, we need to come up with a name. We need to come up with a name,
Well,
maybe income stream explanation?
Count me in.
Yeah, I think a number of people will want to be in that group for sure. Anybody's looking.
I'll check with Kimberly and see if I can set up a workplace group that we could then all collaborate.
But I'll contact you, Conda, for that one-on-one also, because I have some real specific questions.
Does it have to be a workplace group? Because I'm a agent looking to join eXp, but information.
What are you waiting for?
One
more reason to join.
Perfect response, Jerome.
Get off the fence.
I can give you
You
my.
gotta come over here to get the full benefits.
After this call, yeah, I'm sold, but I still want to hear it, but I don't have the.
Feel free to give me a call on my cell phone number, 573-216-0553, and I can answer some specific questions, and then I'll check with Kimberly about setting up a workplace group where we can all collaborate and learn about this.
Thank you. That's 573-216-0553.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Let me see if I can type that in there.
Keep in mind, guys, too, that we also have, I mean, we're an icon platform here, but we have icons of icons, like our Rob Flick, Gene Frederick, Brent Gove. Every one of them has basically eXp 101 out there that you can utilize. YouTube, because honestly, if you're like me, I can spend an hour with you and go over numbers, and as soon as I walk away, I have a contract or an offer that came in and I totally forgot everything that we talked about. So those videos, or those YouTube videos, are amazing, and they are exceptional recruiting tools too. They go over everything in detail. Yep. So just get on there, look for our icons that are out there that we even use. I use them versus me sitting down and talking to someone about eXp 101. I use Brent Gove all the time. So find them on there, use them, and for yourself to memorize everything that's out there.
Yeah. Thank you.
And one other plug, people, for our conferences and shareholder summits. If you don't go, you don't grow. So go to as many of these events as you can. It's so nice to get to know other people and in eXp, and it's just, the events are amazing. So if you can go to those, you need to make it maybe at least one a year, make it a priority.
Yeah, it's so sad to me. I had a couple of agents tell me they just didn't have time to go. And I told them, I said, you don't have time not to go. And these things, like these iConversations, we just don't have enough people listening, because you can gain so much knowledge from this.
That's so true.
It's so true. I joined a week ago and I listened last Friday when I was a newbie, and this Friday, and I've learned so much, and I've been in the business 17 years.
And Karen, you're growing because you're attending. We see you all over the place, and that's the common theme. Like the people that show up for themselves at these events and things, they grow.
And I actually heard a testimony yesterday. Rob Flick was on a Zoom or Skype meeting, and he said he has an agent who averages has 83 closings, I guess, so far this year, and all of those leads have come from KV Core.
Wow.
I thought
We
that
need
was
him to do a training.
Right. I do love KV Core, but I've never gotten that many leads, but I have gotten some leads from it.
Yeah, I thought that was some impressive numbers for KV Core lead.
Absolutely.
Can I add something a minute?
Yes.
I've been in this business for over 15 years, and whoever that man is that's waiting, the only thing that makes me sad about eXp is that I didn't know about it 10 years ago. I'm thrilled to be here, and I hope he doesn't wait much longer. He needs to join today.
I
would ditto that.
Agreed.
Amen.
And I would ditto the comments about how helpful this particular icon session has been. I've gotten great ideas, so thank you so much. 15 years I've been in the business, and this is just been full.
Yeah, what a great panel. Thank you guys so much for doing this today. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I just want to know how to get your Halloween stuff.
Go
Yeah,
to the
awesome.
gears up in the upper right-hand corner. Play around with it.
Yeah, I'll have to go play around with it.
If you want to
Remember,
meet me at
guys,
the Welcome Center, I can help you with that.
Okay, thank you. Who
I
was
think
that?
that's
Remember,
all we
guys, with
have
this
today.
this new model we're doing,
That's Jean Frost. I'm Jen Frost.
this new model, we
Okay,
all
thank
win
you.
together.
See you at
So
the
we
Welcome
all
Center.
help each other.
All
The
right.
more we all sell, the more we all grow, the more we all make, and we all can live an incredible life with money and time freedom together in a collaborative experience. So I'm so proud to be partnered with all of you and looking forward for all of us having the greatest life.
How can we get copy of the
Copy of what?
copy of today?
I do not know the answer to that.
The this video is also,
It'll be in Workplace.
Yeah, I was going to say it's in Workplace. Yep.
if you go on YouTube, iConversations, it'll be on there. It's being live on YouTube right now.
Yep.
Wonderful.
You guys
Appreciate
be blessed. Have a great weekend.